Hello everyone, I'm Tana Flukiger, and I'm excited to share some of the information that I have researched on multicultural education and the importance of parental involvement. So the question is, what is multicultural education? Multicultural education is a philosophical concept built on the ideals of freedom, justice, equality, equity, and human dignity. Based on these ideals, it is of great importance to prepare students for the responsibilities in the world. I also found it interesting to learn that multicultural education is a process that permeates all aspects of school practices, policies, and organization as a means to ensure the highest levels of academic achievement for all students. As a teacher, our goal is to move students to the highest level of academic achievement, and we want this for all of our students. So, another question to ask, why is parental involvement important? Parental involvement and the impact that it has on the school, and more specifically on a child's education, is a frequent topic in schools today. Families of multicultural backgrounds face challenges in the educational setting due to language barriers and lack of knowledge of the expected requirements and outcomes of academic achievement. Parental involvement is a key component to a student's educational success. It has taken years for schools to reach the consensus that the optimal environment for learners is achieved only when a true partnership exists between the school and its families. Today, virtually every public school in the United States has a mission statement that includes goals to involve parents or their families in a child's education. This added emphasis on parental involvement was heavily driven by the No Child Left Behind legislation that was enacted in 2002. Which required schools to develop parental involvement policies. The Every Student Succeeds Act, ESSA, has now replaced NCLB. ESSA has maintained the parental involvement requirements set forth by NCLB and additionally requires districts to provide at least one of the following strategies: professional development for school staff and possibly parents, home-based programs, information dissemination, collaboration with community organizations, and other related activities. Those schools have made significant gains in the area of parental involvement. Many times they fail to consider varying needs of parents of diverse cultures. In order for districts to meet the goal of their mission statements, they're going to have to consider the needs of the culturally diverse families of the students they serve. As I began to study the research regarding parental involvement and the impact that it has on students, I learned that yes, indeed, it does have an impact, but even more so with students from culturally diverse families. I also learned that parental involvement has no age limit. The research suggests that it has a positive impact on all learners, kindergarten through post-secondary education. I also found there are certain types of parental involvement that have more impact than others. I found there are a variety of strategies that districts can employ to better enable to connect to the cultural diverse families they serve. Some strategies that I found were listed as formal involvement and informal involvement. Formal involvement would include visible participation in schools, volunteering in the classroom, helping with field trips or in the lunchroom, attending PTA meetings or parent-teacher conferences or other school events. Also keeping parents informed by parent-teacher communications, homework, newsletters, assessment information, bulletin boards, events, and general information from the school in their home language. In general, formal parent involvement includes external activities in which parents are physically present at the school. Informal involvement would include behaviors, activities, and emotional support that occur in the home. Latino parents may share stories or give advice about school experiences through cultural narratives. Making sure children arrive at school on time. Provide a quiet time and place to do homework and regularly helping with homework. Monitoring school attendance. Generally, the main message of informal parental support is sharing spoken and unspoken messages about the importance of school and education. Other strategies or practices that reinforce parental involvement and becoming culturally responsive to learners include expanding our social cultural consciousness, recognizing the connection between schools and society, develop an affirming attitude towards students from culturally diverse backgrounds, act as agents of change and work for greater equity in education, build on what students already know your students, teach in ways students are familiar with to facilitate their learning, develop classroom climate that involves all students. As educators, we're always looking for strategies that we can use to reach all students. Through the research, I have found concrete strategies that will increase my ability to serve the culturally diverse students in my classes, which have traditionally been a challenge. I will also be able to share this information with my colleagues, which in turn will help us as a school and district better understand and engage our multicultural diverse students and their families. The research in this study has shown that families of multicultural backgrounds face challenges such as language deficits and understanding of expectations, unlike those of the typical middle-class family. The evidence suggests that it is incumbent upon schools and districts to employ strategies specifically designed to connect with the multicultural families they serve. In the quest for schools and districts to continually try to increase student achievement of all students, it becomes imperative that they make a conscious effort to build bridges with this population of students and meet the goals that they have set in their mission statements to reach all learners.